What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? You rocking with Moochie. It's Blue Tunes with you, so hit the hammer. And thank you. I'm talking about, I was supposed to do this, y'all, like 2 weeks ago. And we're talking about Robbin is on TV. So it's it's to me, it's kind of a updated version of Set It Off. But we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna bring the ladies in. I am Moochie, and this is Moochilla's Review. So let's get into it, y'all.
Put me up in that algorithm and holla at your girl. Ew.
All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up?
What up? What up?
I'm so sorry I was so late with this, but life be lifing, and y'all are so patient to wait with me, and I appreciate you, ladies. So, what did y'all think of this? It came out a couple of months. I think I want to say it came out last month. We got to it this month to try it. What were your thoughts about this? I'll start with you, Tamika, and then we'll go down to EJ, and then I'm gonna say Ginger snaps for last because she gonna snap back. Okay. What's your thoughts, Tamika?
It was cool. It wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. I enjoyed it for what it was. Little, uh, bootleg set it off. I like seeing Sierra. I think her name is. I actually like her a lot. It was good seeing her in something, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Some parts was making me laugh. Some parts I was like, y'all about to get caught the hell up out of here. I don't know why y'all, doing this or whatever, but we'll talk more about it.
All right, EJ, what's your thoughts about the whole movie? Even though it was a Tubi movie, it was good to me. But what was your thoughts?
It was cool. I love Soraya. I like her. So I would just watched it for her, to be honest. I had, before you said you was going to do it, I had already watched it because she was in it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up. And I thought the same thing y'all thought, like a bootleg set it off. But it was cool. I mean, it wasn't like, it was just cool. It was just a good watch. I mean, it was cool.
All right. Inga, what's your thoughts?
It was okay. Yeah, it was okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
nothing. Yeah, just like what y'all said. Like
okay.
to set it off.
All right. So we got Robin. She is the way it starts off. It told the story backwards, so you would think that this is not going to end well for them. It shows her where she has to stay locked up for 6 months, but we're not getting the full story, and then it flash forwards to how everything got started. And she's a bank manager. She was up for promotion. She designed their system to where if things happen where they're getting broken into, she just basically helped design a security system. And she seemed like she was a very model employee. And I thought it was starting off in a good way. So you I was kind of curious on how this was gonna go. What was your thoughts of like the cast that they used and the beginning of this? Where EJ go? Okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, you could see she's an integral part. She knows everybody. She knows how it's supposed to work. It seems like they depending on her. Her and I don't remember his name, but the one that he was letting her know, like, if it wasn't for you, you helped me with my mom or something like that, and was saying some type of promotion that he was getting, and just as far as training and teaching people about how all of this works and what you're supposed to do in case of something. So I figured like, yeah, there's no reason why she shouldn't be getting a promotion because it seems like she's really, the brains behind the things that's helping this bank to be able to function. That's how I be too. I'm just saying, the black woman be out here doing some things. They be having to depend on us, but then they want to put stuff on us. Now let me stop.
But did y'all notice that she was able to get this bank up to par where they could have their own credit card line?
Yes, they was having a hard time with that. Yeah.
So what was your take on does anybody have anything else they want to address with this? And then I'll go to this too, with her being a prized employee and her. I didn't see this going down this way. Well, what was your thoughts of the daughter? I thought the daughter was jealous of her. I did think the daughter was jealous of her because she was with a politician's son, and it seemed like she had everything going for her in life. I can't hear you.
My bad. I was on mute. No, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I felt like the daughter was necessarily jealous of her, but she definitely could have been. I mean, she did have everything going for her at the time, and I knew it was going to be something shady. And it's always gonna be the big man. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I kind of saw it coming, just not exactly how it all played out, but I did. I hated this for her because she did such a good job for this company for them to backstab. It seems like she would have been more of an asset than somebody that takes the fall for you.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
What was your thoughts the way she got set up and how everything went, how this transpired between Robbin and her boss, with Robbin and Mr. Salisbury? Is that his name? I got it written down.
I don't know what his name is, but
Yeah,
I'm
he was
sorry.
an asshole.
he really was. He really was a class A jerk. He really was. No, I thought that was shady of him. Like I said, I don't understand why she isn't an asset after all the things that she's done. You would make somebody else take the fall. Like she
Mhm.
wouldn't take the fall. Somebody else would have to take the fall for it because she's the person that has kind of gotten you where you're at. Like she's made your company even better, like much better. So nah, she don't take the fall for it.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of wild that they had her like that, but then we understood why it would happen later. So I get it. But I just felt bad. It seemed like everybody turned on her, and like just a better than I. That was
Yeah.
the crazy part to me.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, she actually thought she was walking in there to get a damn promotion. And then you
Hmm.
turn around and accusing her of all these different things and telling her, I guess they all have like an ID number they usually sign in with, and they like, no, because she was like, I could double check and get to the bottom of this and figure it out first. She just thinking it's a mistake. But it's like, nah, it came from you. And then, he's supposed to know her on a personal level as well as the professional level. And it's like, I wouldn't do something like this, all the stuff I've done for this bank. And so, yeah, that was mad raggedy. I felt bad for her. You sacrificing like that, and they just, trying to set you up and toss you to the wolves.
She was basically accused of bank embezzlement, and
Hmm.
she was required if it went to trial, she could get 10 years.
Hmm.
6 months
Was
or
she the Vivica Fox character on
what?
Set It Off? She seemed like she's that
Oh
character.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Robin,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, Frankie. Seemed like
But she was
that was so more her like her role.
that was a more upper. This is more like a upper scale. That girl was just the bank teller.
Yeah. She
She was
is
like,
something like Frankie, but it's the next level Frankie. She up a
mm-hmm,
level from Frankie.
yeah. Um. So she ends up taking this deal where she has to plead guilty, and she gets 6 months in jail, and then she comes out, y'all. she has to go get her. She meets with this Asian kid named Han, and she gets her secret stash. I didn't take pictures of everything, y'all, but y'all
He
understand.
reminded me a little bit of Daniel from Reasonable Doubt.
Okay. But I thought it was cool because he was like, "You want all of it?" She was like, "No, I just
Right.
need a couple of things." She had like her whole little nest.
Yeah.
Now, even though this was her money that she was supposed to buy her mother's house,
Mm-hmm.
so she know it was like a setback. So she was like,
Mm-hmm.
she's not giving up on it, but she knows she got to get this because she got to start over again. And that book that she had was called the Greatest Heist. And I wrote my notes down. I thought this was from the other show we was doing. We doing so many different shows where some of them have like the same little buzzwords and stuff.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I got like twisted for a minute, y'all. But yeah, I thought this was cool because she had her little setup. What was your
Yeah.
thoughts about her? And I know she needed to hook back up with her friends. I don't know if y'all watched it again. That's what I'm trying to refresh y'all.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it again, but I remember some of the things. But I do think that this was smart. I mean, it is a setback. She's still struggling, and she still had to spend 6 months in jail that she should have never had to spend in there. But at least she did have a nest egg. She could have came out and had nothing, at all. So it showed that she was smart and that she was trying to plan and save and do all of those things. So that helped her. That was a plus.
Agreed. Absolutely. I thought that this just goes to show how intelligent she was and how smart she was to set this nest egg up. You know what I mean? Because I mean, she could have made all that money and not did anything and just kind of had the rug pulled from under her. Yeah, it was a setback, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been because she thought ahead. So I liked it.
Inga. So she goes to see her boyfriend. Can you tell us about that scene when she goes to see the boyfriend and finds out what?
Oh, I think he was sleeping with the white girl or something.
They done started a life together. Hey, Sally.
After she got out of prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
I with this part, I'm like, I had like, how you got like your what the heck moments. How you just get out and you busting pow pows, and you don't expect to go back in that fast? I thought this part was cute, but it was unbelievable. What was y'all thoughts about it?
Yeah, she let her emotions get away. I mean, I get it because at this point, once she saw her there, she really felt like, oh, y'all the ones that set me up. Like you was in on this because she knows it's somebody that set her up, but she don't know who. So it's like one part, first of all, I'm coming here. I'm trying to figure out how we went from us potentially making a life together to you just leaving me in the dust for a crime I didn't commit. And then you got somebody here, and then the person you got here is somebody that was working with me that I feel like could have set me up and be part of the reason that I'm in there. So I wasn't mad at her for pulling the hammer out, but she shouldn't have been popping up them shots, especially if you ain't planning on popping nobody. But she
Mm-hmm.
had them shook.
Yeah. Um. So, what did y'all think of Trent? Oh no, not Trent. We meet her friends, but we meet her friends. We see them in the picture, so then that's when I put them together. These are the girls. What was your thoughts on her homegirls from the block? Nobody remembers.
They was a little weird to me in the beginning. I don't know. I thought, and I guess opposites could attract, but they didn't seem like I thought we was kind of maybe doing like a flashback and then present day or something because it felt like they was more like little kids, teenagers or something, doing little, grocery
Bodegas,
store.
right?
Yeah, and then so I didn't think that this was like real time. Like these are her peoples that she just haven't seen in a minute that she still hang out with. But yeah, we meet them with them robbing a damn bodega. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And they didn't even get that much.
And we also meet Detective Kelly, and it seems like she looks out for these girls because I believe she grew up with them too. You know how you got like one of your friends to become like a cop or something,
Mm-hmm.
and still know your friends be doing certain stuff where she know to show up here and be like, look, I know that was y'all that did that store.
Yeah, the cop seemed dirty too.
Her?
The cop didn't seem like she was no like she was on the up and up. Like she was into some dirty stuff too, wasn't she?
Nah, she was like basically they to me, I feel like she grew up with them and she knew them since they was younger girls. So she knew what they was involved with, but she didn't want to really press them like that and get them locked up. She would
Mm-hmm.
give them the benefit of the doubt to let them go back and correct the error in their ways. I'll say it like that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's how I read it too. Like maybe she was like maybe like just a little bit older than them,
Mm-hmm.
not too much older, but like the big sister,
Right.
trying to protect the girls or whatever, because she knew they had just did their robbery, that
Mm-hmm.
robbery-ish, whatever you want to call it.
She was, as soon as she heard it on the radio, she went straight to them. And then they gave out the description. She was like I knew it. Like, how much money did y'all really get with this?
Okay. No,
Kind of
not
like how
enough.
Tamika was saying, look, like y'all too old to be doing this crap. So Trent is one of her co-workers that was, he was working at the bank with her. But 2 weeks after she got let go and everything went down with her, he got fired. So he came back to give her the lowdown on what's going on at work. And he has a job at the spa shop, y'all. And Trent can hack into banking systems. So this is where her idea is gonna start coming into play. And they start discussing everything. And it seems like the way she's discussing it, they'll be able to walk away with 250K in 5 minutes. Well, not 5 minutes, They trying to feel like she's letting them know how much money they could actually walk away with, and she's gonna try to get these girls to get down with her.
I like this dude. He was ready. He ain't asking no questions like that. Like, I'm just ready.
He was
I
ready
thought
to
they
test his little equipment out. What's
I
your
thought they
thoughts?
took $5 million.
No, but remember they had the first heist remember they had a tester heist,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the first one.
They did the first one, and then they just like and set it off.
Yeah, they went, they tried it to see how it worked out, but we know.
And then they came back to do it one more to get the big one.
Mm-hmm. So she comes back to get her friends because they're the only people she could really trust. But they like, where you been all this time? They not trusting it anyway to begin with, which I understand. Cause she's been MIA for so long. Once she got the job with the bank, she really cut ties with all of them. So they were kind of they was kind of standoffish with her in the beginning of this. And she didn't give a full reason on how and why she wanted to do this. So she was just, I guess breadcrumbing, you would say.
Yeah.
But she said she only trusts them. So what was y'all thoughts about this whole group and everything? This is when I was having my little set it off moment, trying to pick out who's who in the group.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I felt like this. Like, yes, she went away and maybe she didn't come back to the hood. Like, sometimes you just don't need to go back to the hood. Like, you don't always need to go back because we see what they was still doing. You can get caught up in some mess and not even really be trying to get caught up in some mess. So I understood why she left and why she didn't necessarily come back. And I also understand why they didn't necessarily go straight into trusting her. But I feel like if y'all cool, like if y'all friends, like I have friends that I don't have to talk to I probably haven't talked to them in forever, but I promise you, if you put us in the same room together, it'll be like we never was apart. We just don't always have to. We don't have to talk.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey, Renee.
Yeah,
So
that's definitely true.
Hey, Renee, Renee.
I got another question for y'all.
Well, why was the girl up there pregnant, like 8, 9 months pregnant, and she up there trying to do some stuff?
No, she said she was out in the beginning. That's what I was getting ready to ask you. I'm glad you tapped on it first. Camilla, she's pregnant. She said, I can't do this right now. I'm having a baby. So she was out in the beginning. She gave them when she proposed the whole idea to them, she did tell them no, like, look, if y'all don't want to do this, you don't have to. If you're not down, you're not down. I get it. But then when she got home, Camilla, she finds out her husband got laid off once again, and this baby is coming. So now she's gonna get. This is the reason why she gets down. So now she's gonna tell them the plan. What did y'all think of their plan and the whole setup with them making a bank and everything?
I mean, they was thorough. I feel
Yeah,
like
they were thorough. I felt like they were a lot more thorough than they were and set it off. And I mean, at the end of the day, she's literally the one that kind of came up with the system and know how the system works, knows how the money works. So she was the best person to have on the inside to be, giving them this plan. And then you have I forgot his name, that work at the spa shop, and the tools that he could bring in, and the fact that he know how to, tap into the different systems. So that was definitely a plus. But I ain't gonna lie, when they was doing the training and they got the jobs, I was saying like, well, if y'all could fake this to get these damn jobs, then y'all asses could have been in here working and making y'all some money. That did come across
Exactly.
my mind.
Well, they got new IDs and everything
Yeah,
because
they
they knew.
switched up.
Yeah, and it was like, to me, only one of them really enjoyed it, where you could see her excelling in it. Like, it was like she was happy to have a second chance to, like,
Mhm.
be a different person and have a new life. Because
mm,
they all got new IDs. Trent is the spy guy that helped. So it's like they knew every third Friday how the banks, which bank has the most money on what days, and she had everything down to a science, y'all. Everything down to a science. And she said the all they have to do was stick to the script. If they stick to the script, everything will work. So I like the breakdown. I like the way they had the makeshift bank in there. And it just seemed like everything was like foolproof.
yeah.
Yeah, I did think that part was a plus, but I also was a little nervous with them having that set up because I was like, now if somebody come there, like, do y'all have all the plans there? Is this gonna lead back to y'all? But yeah, they was definitely being thorough with it.
So the first time they do this, remember when I said the first time they walked away with 250,000? Now, this is the one you was talking about, Inga, where they gonna go back and get it because they find out more things. But Kelly is pressing their crew because she's being pressed by internal affairs. They believe that she knows something, and that she has, like, she's helping them out in some ways. What was
Yeah.
y'all take on Kelly? Oh, I had to already ask that. Never mind. I asked that before. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, Kelly, I do feel like she was trying to look out for them as best as she could, but then it got to a point where it's only but so much I could look out. I think she actually met up, I forget which one it was that she met up with, and of course she was just like, "Oh, I'm just changing my life, and you can't be mad at me because I'm working at a bank and trying to do better." But she knew who they was, and it was funny too because when she first seen their pictures, because she didn't even think that they would be on that scale to be doing no daggone things. But literally, they pictures come across her desk, And she like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. And then she did know that Robbin had been locked up before. So it wasn't hard to put two and two together that, oh, this is the Banks, and she done went to jail for the bank thing. Now y'all all together and y'all working at Banks. Like, it wasn't hard to connect it, but um at the same time, her job was potentially in jeopardy. And it's like, okay, y'all need to chill with this because this is a completely different scale from the bodegas and, the little petty things y'all was doing before.
What was your thoughts on her questioning? Dag, I had her name. Yeah, with Kelly questioning. I forgot. I think it was Shauna. She questioned her, and she was like, "What y'all doing?" When she said y'all are up to something, but she couldn't figure it out yet.
Mm-hmm.
But once she started figuring things out, I think she was kind of proud of how smart they was. To me, she couldn't believe like how everything was thought up, but she
Mm-hmm.
still was kind of concerned about like y'all helping her do her dirty work. Um, she was telling the other girls that y'all helping Robbin do her dirty work. She just wants to get revenge on her boss, and she's gonna drag y'all into this with this is not gonna go right for y'all.
Right, because
So
that was the part that they didn't know about, and that kind of didn't make sense to me. I felt like she should have been upfront with them about that from the beginning. I didn't see the point in, holding that part back, but nonetheless.
I didn't see the point in that either. I was like, why not? I mean, it is what it is. It's still going to result in the same thing. You just going to get some get back and they going to get this money.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know why she didn't tell him.
Hmm. And then, I mean, they probably would have got away with it, right? In my Scooby Doo voice, but it was a snitch out there that apparently was saying like they all of a sudden flossing and got money, and even though they working in the bank, they only make but so much. So that's kind of what made them hot, where they felt like something could be going on with these girls.
Yeah, because that first heist, the Camilla, the pregnant girl, she bought a house.
Hmm.
Um, the one that's sitting up here, Dag, I forgot her name. I haven't. She bought a she started a business, and the other girl that stayed inside the bank, it seemed like she was just flourishing with that job to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She took to it like a duck to water with that.
Hmm.
Let me look at the comments real quick because I felt I don't want to feel like we ignoring people, but we was in the conversation. Hey Sally, oh it had Ocean 11 vibes to me. It was that though. Okay, she says I haven't seen this movie, but I did like everyone. Oh, thank you, Renee. I'll go to your page and God didn't get a notification from you. Okay, make sure y'all notifications is on.
Girl, I don't be getting no notifications either. I
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah.
YouTube
Yeah,
don't
they
like
they
me. I
playing
don't be
around with
getting.
us.
Hmm.
What's up, pocket full of De Niro? Oh, you changed your thing. Oh,
Hmm.
Nah, it really was.
that's
It was
good.
super thorough. Super
Mm-hmm.
thorough.
So she finds out because look, I don't have screenshots for everything, but they had they end up finding out that the president of the bank is gonna do this act again, and it's a transfer setup where it's gonna go into an account that's in her name. So they're gonna try to make it look like she took money again. So they basically waited for her to get out of jail, and they're gonna pin this crime on her again.
I thought she was gonna pow this white girl right here.
I thought she was too, but she said, "Look, I know you didn't steal from me. You just messed with my man, but this one changed my whole life." She was ready to put some hot ones in him.
And he was still sitting up there acting like his shit don't stink.
All smug, talking about I picked you from the day you walked in there. Like you, she was a. He said I picked you because of your background. I picked you for this job because he knew he was gonna blame her for this. That's crazy.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
she should have and she should have put some hot ones in them right there. Pow 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 pow. She should have just kept on to empty the whole clip on his tail. You know what I'm saying? Uh, uh, uh.
It's an echo somewhere, y'all. I don't know where.
Yeah, so I like I like what did y'all think of her putting a bug in the plant and the transmitter in the office for Kelly to find?
I liked it because at this point they was getting close to them, but it was always like they was two steps behind. It was a couple times I was getting nervous because I think even one of the times when they was doing the Robbie, one of the girls got held up where they was like, come on, you ain't out of there yet." And then one of the times when Robin went in, he had turned the cameras off, but then they was back in. So it was like little times where, it seemed like they was getting close on them and they was about to find them. I think even when they found where they had the makeshift things, then ended up being in like, a thing that was about to go off in there where they had to hurry up and run out of it. So it was always like two steps behind. And they just swore they was about to come here now. Well, not Kelly, she was trying to look out for them, but the other cops, they thought they was about to come here and catch them in the act now, but really it just led them to who the bigger fish was. Like, we ain't the problem, he the damn problem.
I
Mm-hmm.
was glad that he was doing all of that talking. And he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"We got everything. We got everything." Only thing I had a problem with was him getting away from the cops, and how this truck went down this long pathway without crashing and nobody was driving. And I'm like, when did she get out of the truck?
Mm-hmm. I
And
guess
why
they
is
were
this
supposed to
girl
be
eight,
familiar
nine
with
months
it.
pregnant? Why is this girl 8, 9 months pregnant? I thought she was gonna have the baby in the back of the truck.
I thought
Mm-hmm.
so too.
I did too.
And I thought they was gonna I like the way Kelly protected her though.
Yes, because I said, "Oh Lord, she about to get taken out." I'm like, God, and it's crazy because they thought they was protecting her. They told her, "No, you pregnant, so you go, this way. We gonna continue on with the plan." And then she ended up being the one surrounded. I'm like, "Oh God!" And
Yeah, because they
she
was like,
couldn't run with
"Go,
that big
go."
belly.
Yeah, they was
She
like,
wasn't all
"Go."
lasting down the street with that big belly though.
Yeah,
And then
she was.
she ended up having her Cabbage Patch baby in the hospital.
I thought she was going to end up getting charged with it, but I like the way I didn't know that the same guy that used to work with her at the bank. Remember, he kept saying, "Look, I got a new job."
Uh-huh.
So they had everything. She had everything set up from the get go. Once she had her people in place, she just she just was making chess moves to me, and I thought it was real. I thought it was well orchestrated. But when you give a smart person a lot of time on their hand, they usually come up with a good idea. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see the difference between this and Set It Off was because Set It Off, their whole plan fell to crap. It just went left. Everything fell apart with them girls. This all seemed like she had a plan. She had a plan for the plan for the plan.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they
Backup
even went to remember
plans.
they had to go to plan B.
Yes, they had multiple plans. And then another thing was like, even though on one hand that kind of brought light on them, is they didn't waste no time. It was like, listen, I wanted a house, I'm buying a house, I'm getting my business. They actually spent their money on stuff. It wasn't like they lost the money, this and that. They wasted the money, something else happened with the money, and they have to, go back for that. They literally started doing what they said they was going to do. They even gave a donation to like a girls' home or something like that, and that was
Mm-hmm.
on the news. So they was doing stuff.
Yeah.
What was y'all thoughts with how they got her out though? Because I'm like, well, who took her baby? I want certain parts. I don't like when I get potholes and stuff. And that was the only pothole. I was like, okay, she had her baby. She was already handcuffed to the bed.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure. I don't remember that part that clearly.
Yeah, they just showed her in prison. He came and got her, and then you see her. Well, one of my pictures is gone. They was there. Well, he gets her out, and wait a minute, I know it's there.
They did not say anything about what happened to the baby. She gave birth to the little Cabbage Patch baby. Then she next thing you know, she was in the prison. The guy came and let her out, and they jumped in the van and was gone. I mean, so they never said nothing about who had the baby, and
I mean,
Nah,
what?
that's what I don't like when
I
they
guess we
have
gotta use our
violence and stuff.
imagination. That's all.
What? Wasn't her and her baby? They were married, weren't they?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would assume that either her husband or her mother had the baby, but they definitely didn't specify it at all.
Yeah, they
I
ain't had
know.
time
They
for all
just
that.
showed her getting out, and she came out in a uniform too, and then they
Mhm.
all rode off into the sunset. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I thought this was a good movie for a Tubi movie. The acting was pretty on point. I mean, it had some scenes kind of dragged, but other than that, I thought it was a good story, good plot line. I was happy that all the girls got away safely. Usually we
Hmm.
don't see stuff like that with movies like this. Everybody it usually always ends in tragedy. But I like the way this was a happy ending. What was y'all thoughts with that?
I
Because we're so
I
used
see
to
it was
seeing
a Chris Stokes movie. I said, they ain't caught up with that dude yet. Goodness
no,
No,
gracious.
he
they're
got a
coming.
lot
He's
of
still
Tubi
out there.
movies. He got
I
a
know he do.
lot of Tubi movies.
I don't know
But
how
I
he
mean,
slipped through
yeah,
the
I think
crack.
Tubi be getting a bad name because some of them be good. It just depends, you know. You got to catch them. You got to catch them. But I
No,
definitely like this one way better than that one Sisters that we did. That one that they just had all kind of plot holes, and I
I
feel like
know.
you know I
So
enjoyed it.
on a 1 to 10 with okay on your two, what's your Tubi rating for this? Like, is it a Tubi movie where like this could have been a Lifetime movie, or just this is like, this is typical
Yeah, Tubi
Tubi.
and Lifetime on the same category, so it's about the same.
All right,
Yeah, it
Mhm.
kind of remind me of a Lifetime movie a little bit.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so-
all right. So look, I know we. Look,
I mean,
we only been
I
up
wonder
here a half hour,
how he
y'all.
slipped through the cracks and he ain't been caught up on the stuff.
Who?
Chris Stokes.
You know what? That's what I want to know. Who gonna throw him under the bus?
I mean, I don't know. It's been so long, and that just no, they never catch up with him. I don't know. Nobody
Look,
pressed no charges or no
I heard
civil.
he's been brought up, and they talking about if I'll give y'all a little ditty minute, his bail was denied again. His mother showed up there. They was being heckled in Brooklyn, and then they had some kind of paralegal come out there talking. I call those he's like, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a paralegal. He actually went there and talked on the mic. I think if when you are a paralegal and stuff like that, you could go in courts and participate and stuff like. I mean, not participate, but you could go there and listen and stuff like that. So I guess he was in there doing that.
Well, I
So
guess with Chris Stokes, he the reason why he didn't get caught up the way like Diddy did, maybe he chilled out after he done ran through all the boys. Then now I guess he figured let me chill out and just go do these Tubi movies and make my money. So
he probably got them scared where they don't want to talk. You seen what happened when they went on tour again? That
mhm.
boy ended up being outside on a walking
Yeah,
around the
yeah, the
doggone
mental health
building.
breakdown. Hmm.
Yeah. So, I hope they do address it because they've been torturing that kid for years with scaring him to keep his mouth closed.
Hmm.
I'm not bringing up no names because I know y'all, that's not y'all thing. So that's why I'm trying to be real careful with
No, we
it.
ain't gotta go into the detail because it's
Yeah,
it's
no, I just
graphic.
didn't want to get too
But I
deep
just
with
say
it.
I'm but I just say I noticed, yeah, he got movies all up and down Tubi streets. And I said, I wonder why everybody never do no surviving Chris Stokes movie or something like that.
Don't worry, it's coming.
Mm.
Anything to get the heat off of him. I wouldn't be surprised if people's cronies is not going to be doing that next, because they will throw him to the wolves before they
If
will
he's
throw
smart, he'll
themselves.
just do his little Tubi movies and keep mind his business and stay quiet if he's
That's what they
smart.
probably did tell him.
That's why you don't see his face. Only thing you just see his production. Him and what's the other?
Marcus
Yeah,
Houston,
Mark. Yeah,
he
Marcus
needs
Houston.
to keep his big headed self hidden too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go home, Roger.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-mm-mm.
That's what they used to say to him on Sister Sister.
Right.
Go home, Roger.
Yeah, he was a cute little kid, but now when he grew up, we found out things about him. So no, Sally, I haven't looked at it yet.
I watched it. I can't wait to talk about it tomorrow, Sally. We're gonna have to talk about it. Look, hopefully, who's getting it together?
Me, but not tonight.
Okay,
I'm
so
going to bed.
yeah, so she's getting it together.
Not tonight.
She said not tonight.
Yeah, I'll have it ready by tomorrow.
All right. So I guess that's all. I mean, we got that going on. What you got going on, EJ? What y'all got going on your channels?
Tamika and I just did
Zatima.
Zatima. Yeah, I couldn't even think of the name of it.
Yeah,
Just did
I was
Zatima
watching.
show. Definitely check out the replay. I'll have my Zatima individual reviews up at sometime, maybe before the end of the weekend, before the weekend is over. And then Tamika and I will be doing Found tomorrow. And of course, the ladies are doing Reasonable Doubt. Saturday is book club. If we're doing the Family Business New Orleans right now in the book club, and then on Sunday, I'm supposed to be dropping our Queen's Court review that Candy Love and I did. So that one, and then we're going to do episodes 3 and 4 on Monday, and then on Tuesday we got to talk about Fight Night, y'all, because it's such a well put together show. If you're not looking at Fight Night, you got to go back. You can even binge watch it at this point, and you'll probably enjoy it even more. But we're going to finish up Fight Night, the limited series, and yeah, that's it. And then we're going to do it all over again.
All right. What you got going on, Tamika?
Same thing y'all got going on. And I will be putting up my team probably sometime by the end of the weekend too. I don't know what day it's gonna be, but it'll be, so keep your notifications on. Y'all make sure y'all follow us on social media. That's what we be telling y'all that, because sometimes YouTube be playing with these notifications, okay? But yeah, I'll be with the ladies for Reasonable Doubt, and EJ for Found and From, and whatever else that's going on and Fight Night. Yeah, Reasonable Doubt was good, girl. I still don't like the same people that I already wasn't liking, so ain't nothing changed as far as that. You on mute, Moochie?
What you got going on, Inga? I'm
So
talking.
the same things y'all got going. Well, not the same things, but you know what I mean. Just keep the notifications on. Check the community tab. Reasonable Doubt tomorrow, and I mean, of course, check out everything I did all week long and the last week, all month long. So in case you missed it, go back and watch all the replays on the other stuff. And let me see, what Reasonable Doubt tomorrow, and then Sunday, I'm doing the reality show Love is Blind, the Netflix reality show Love is Blind. I'm doing that with Miss Kira and I think Nita, and then Penguin on Sunday. So we have a double header on Sunday. So it'll be busy, busy, busy. And then Fight Night twice, and I do it with Monique and 69, and then with y'all on Tuesday. Aaron Hernandez Wednesday, and then it's on and on and on. Oh, we might not be doing Aaron Hernandez this particular Wednesday. I think we're skipping a week. But anyway, just keep the notifications on if you get them, because I know, like y'all said, YouTube be playing games. So check the community tab, because what I'll do sometimes is put stuff in the community tab to remind people. That's how they find out, because I don't know what's going on with them, because I don't always get the notifications.
Yeah, I don't be getting no notifications either.
I have to go through and just check y'all pages and see what y'all doing for the
That's
day.
what I
That's how I
be
be
doing
finding
too.
out. 'Cause sometimes,
Yeah, sometimes you got to turn it off and then turn it back on again and all kind of stuff.
All right, so thanks everybody for coming out. I think we'll be back in 2 weeks with movie night. We'll let y'all know. Keep your eyes open for the community tabs. I will be putting up my individual my personal thoughts on the whole overall Fight Night series, and I'll be with the ladies on Monday. We got a whole bunch of things coming on.
Oh, and Tulsa King on Monday with Nita.
That's right.
And
Tulsa
Mochi,
King on Monday with Nita.
and Grillo, yeah.
I'm gonna be on Found with everybody with everybody else. I gotta catch up with everything, but keep your notifications on and holler at your girl. I want to thank everybody for coming through. Thank you, ladies, for supporting me. And I'm out, y'all. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
Put me up in that algorithm and holla at your girl.